This is SSN.
Story Studio Network.
Welcome to the Biz Doctor podcast, my love letter to business owners the world over. I'm your host, Lauren Goldstein, award-winning business consultant and advisor who's fondly nicknamed the Business Doctor by my clients. My clients call me the Business Doctor because I help business owners who are burning the candle at both ends diagnose what is actually keeping them stuck in and buried under the day-to-day of their business, and then formulate a business treatment plan to help them adjust their business and team to fit them. And most importantly, support them in having what I call true entrepreneurial freedom. If you're ready to look at your business in a different lens and elevate yourself out of the business operator in the trenches 24/7 to visionary business owner and leader who can take a breath, vacation, and have more fun making an impact with your business, then grab your favorite beverage and your earbuds, and let's dive into our latest episode. Welcome back to the show. Today I want to talk about one of the best tools out there for creating massive success in your team, and by extension, your business. This simple tool will unlock your team's potential, collaboration, and communication so your business will blossom in ways you haven't imagined so you can get out from under the mountain of busy. Sound good? It is. Trust me, this is an episode you do not want to miss. The first place I want to start is where I see most entrepreneurs fumble the ball, and that is the simple but profound thing, clarity. Or rather, in this case, the lack of it. Let me illustrate this with a client story that honestly baffles my mind to this day. I remember it like it was yesterday. My client was excitedly talking to me about hiring and his plans to grow the company. I was thinking to myself, finally, we've gotten through to him and he's thinking proactively instead of reactively and is starting to strategically plan his hires like we advised him. Ha! That thought only lasted a moment because in the next breath, he announced he wanted to hire 20. Yes, I said 20 people at one time. Now for some context. In some of my clients' companies, that might be something they would do. No, honestly, scratch that. The most I recommend hiring at one time, unless you're, say, over 500 employees, is 5. Anyway, I digress. This client was not Google or Amazon. They were a team of 14 at the time with 2 partners. So he was announcing he wanted to more than double his staff in, get this, 2 weeks. I about fell out of my chair. I think I was actually rendered speechless for moments and looked like an owl just blinking at him. After my shell-shocked silence, he looked at me and said, "Based on your silence, I'm thinking this is a bad idea." My response? Abso-freaking-lutely, this is a bad idea. I think I might have actually told him he was insane. Anyway, he sheepishly said, "Well, I know it was a lot, but I need people yesterday." And this, my friends, is the lack of clarity I'm talking about. When I hear an entrepreneur say they need somebody yesterday, I know based on my experience and gut that they are already in some deep, deep trouble. And chances are they're about to make a pretty pricey hiring mistake. The reason for this is when you are reactively hiring instead of proactively hiring, you can miss critical pieces of the hire that will help you get a solid player versus maybe somebody that isn't a fit for the role. And more than that, if you're reactively hiring, chances are you're not actually taking the time to think about what you need in that role. So to go back to this client, I had him take a breath and tell me why he thinks he needs 20 people and why yesterday. Not shockingly, after he got it all off his chest, I helped him see that he actually only needed to make 1 key hire right away, and the other roles could wait. And in fact, 3 would do instead of 20, which is where the scorecard now comes in. And the scorecard, my friends, is the tool that will make all the difference in your team and your business. It is honestly one of the best tools out there for creating this massive success. So when you're hiring a new role, it is critical that you do your pre-planning homework like I mentioned. You really need to sit down and actually think through these key components of a role. The mission, why it's important, how does it fit in the company, what are the accountabilities of the role, What innate talents do they need to have to be successful in the role? Here's a hint if you want to know more about this specific one. I talk about it back in season 1, episode 16, titled, If You're Like Most Entrepreneurs, You May Be Hiring for the Wrong Thing. Go give it a listen after this one, and you'll figure out how to hire for the thing that actually matters. And then, of course, last but not least, any threats to the role. So threats are things that are sometimes, well, actually most often outside of your control. So it could be supply chain issues. It could be economic things. It could also be that your role is dependent on another team giving something to you. So just making sure you know what might be coming down the pike. Now, doing this pre-planning homework before you actually hire, it will save you thousands of dollars in a bad hire. And it will also save you hours and hours of time because you will know with absolute clarity who you are looking for and why. Now, the good news is that my Golden Key Scorecard is that dashboard you need to answer all of these questions. It's a very simple spreadsheet that has it all laid out for you in a very simple way. And I created this scorecard because over the course of years of doing this, and many, many books later, I realized that there had to be a better way. And so over the course of 3 years, and again, many books or methodologies later, I synthesized it and took the best parts of various approaches to hiring and made them to something that's not only super simple and easy to fill out, but hugely effective for anyone who chooses to use it. The best part is that it also doubles as a plug and play for job descriptions. Yep, I made it a triple threat: clarity, plan, and then GPS, which is what I'm going to talk about next. So when you take the time to fill it out before you hire, you actually have the perfect roadmap for attracting and getting the perfect player for your team. Quite literally, all you have to do is copy paste into our job description template and voila, guesswork and job description stress gone. So now that you have the clarity on the role and you've successfully filled it with a star player, you also have the third part that makes all the difference right in your hands: the flight plan for their tenure. Now, if onboarding or employee reviews make you stress sweat, then good news. This scorecard is also your flight plan to keep your employee not only on track, but make sure everyone is clear on the expectations so they can be both effective and fulfilled in their role. At any moment in time, you, your employer, or any other member of the team can look at the scorecard and see what their role is and how it fits into the company. This increases trust, collaboration, communication, and decreases stress, mismatched expectations, and turnover. Plus, one of the tabs actually takes the guesswork out of employee reviews. We made that simple too. I call that a win-win. Now, if you're chomping at the bit wondering how you can get a scorecard into your hands and start using it today, I've got you. It's a free business resource that we have on our website. You can snag it at www.goldenkeypartnership.com/scorecard. Now, if you really want to tune your team up and make your next hire your best hire, then I suggest you grab our other free resource, which includes the scorecard and the job description template that you can plug and play your scorecard into. Plus, yours truly walking you through both of them so you can know every step and nail it. It's called Bullseye Hiring. It's an on-demand video workshop you can watch in under an hour, and dare I say, it's the last hiring workshop you'll need because once you master this, the rest is easy as pie. You can get the on-demand video at goldenkeypartnership.com/bullseye. Now, I really want to close this episode out and remind you that it might seem like taking a breath and really getting proactive about hiring might feel like you don't have the time. It's going to make you take 5 steps backwards because you're so far in the process of hiring. But trust me, even if you have already put up a job description, even if you started interviewing, taking a moment to pause, the power of the pause, and get re-clear on things through this scorecard could make all the difference, especially if you're maybe not getting the candidates that you want, or you feel like somebody better might be out there and you can't figure out why they're not attracted to your company or your job description. This scorecard does not take very much time to fill out, and it will pay dividends in how you approach hiring, how you approach building your team, and how your employees actually perform. It's going to make all the difference, which I know is a very big claim, but I've seen my clients before they had scorecards and after, and it's like night and day. So no matter where you are on your hiring journey, your team building journey, this scorecard is going to help you make the most out of your current team and help you make smarter hires down the road, which is going to have a massive effect on team performance and profitability. So that's all I have for this week's episode. Thanks so much for listening in. If anything I shared sparked something in you, I'd love to hear from you. Let's connect. Tag or DM me on Instagram at It's Lauren Goldstein or LinkedIn or wherever you hang out on the interwebs. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you are the first to get notified when our next episode is live and ready for your ears. Thanks so much for listening. Until next time. Thank you for listening to the Biz Doctor podcast. Now, I like to say that friends don't let friends WebMD your business. So if you're wondering what your next steps could be, here are some options for you. No matter what, head to the show notes or to my website, goldenkeypartnership.com, for some impactful resources to support you getting out from under your business. That's also where you'll find the links to learn more about our services and how we support business owners, just like you, who are ready to make the successful jump from business operator in the trenches to visionary business owner with more freedom and flexibility. All of that info is on our website, so pop on over to learn more or get in touch. goldenkeypartnership.com. Finally, if you love the Biz Doctor podcast, I'd be so grateful if you would share it with your friends and network and give us a 5-star rating or review wherever you listen to your podcast.
This is Story Studio Network.